Y'all are back. Hey, we just made that corn together, and I want to make some cornbread with y'all. I know I've made cornbread many times in the past, but I use buttermilk a lot, and some of you just can't get buttermilk, and I want you to see you can make cornbread without it. My grandmother, my mama that taught me about the corn, she taught me cornbread too, and she didn't use buttermilk. She didn't have lavish things like buttermilk. She just had one milk, sweet milk is what they called it. So anyway, I'm gonna get y'all down here. I'm gonna do, this is called cornbread for two. I know I make a big old pan. Again, we're gonna make it smaller. This is what my grandmother made. She made it every single solitary day. She did cornbread every single day that I knew her, which was a lot of days. I think this is a number 8, okay guys? So I'm gonna get y'all down here. First thing I wanna do is, turn on my fire and just get this heating. And I'm gonna use shortening, vegetable shortening. Just do a couple of tablespoons like that. Nothing major. So we'll have something. You could also use oil. You don't have to use shortening. I've done that too. Again, I'm going to put just a little, a teaspoon of bacon grease, because that gives such flavor. If you don't have bacon grease, do not sweat that either, guys. We're just going to melt this down real quick. All right, now that it's melted good, I'm just going to turn my fire off and let it cool just a minute so I can add it to my mixture. And we're going to put 1 cup of yellow cornmeal, 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, and into that we're going to put 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And because we're not going to use that buttermilk, we don't need to put any baking soda for its leavening. So 1 teaspoon, try to get that even. And then we're going to put 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Grab my little teaspoon, and I'm just going to put 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then you need to whisk this just a second to get your salt and your baking powder distributed so it's not clumpy in your cornbread, because I've done that, and you know who got the clump? John Murray. Yes, he did. So that was years ago. I learned my lesson. Okay, y'all. I have 1.5 cups of milk, okay? Now, my mama, this is my mama Ray's recipe. When you'd ask her something, you say, Mama, well, how much milk did you put? Well, darling, I don't know, just till it got thin. And she could tell you 1 egg, but she never wrote down a recipe. She never, she didn't have measurements like measuring cups and teaspoons and stuff. She just had a tablespoon like she would serve at the table with, that she would measure. And it was just amazing to watch her. You know, that was all in her mind, what she had. But then it had us on the struggle bus trying to figure out her recipes. Yes, it did. I bet she stayed tickled at us. I'm going to put my 1 egg in there. And then that grease we heated up right here, I'm going to pour in here real quick. And I left a little bit. You see that? I'm going to put it right back here on the stove. And I'm going to turn that on and let that get nice and hot. I love for it to sear when I pour it in there, okay? And then into this, I've got 1.5 cups of milk. And we're going to keep adding and stir till it just gets thin, darling, okay? I'm telling you, my mama's recipe, I think it's going to be about 1.5 cups will suffice for us. Yes, I do. Yeah. There it did. It got thin. Just like that, y'all. Get a spatula. I'm going to move y'all over here to this hot pan. I want y'all to hear that sizzle. Y'all ready? Into the oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, okay, on this little pan for about 30 minutes till it's done, and I'll see y'all then. Hey y'all, it's ready. It's been 30 minutes. Looks good, doesn't it? Yes. And there's something I always do. I turn my cornbread out of my cast iron because I can taste the cast iron if I let it stay in here. I'm just real sensitive to that. And that's a good thing because that's iron in your diet, isn't it? But I just don't like the flavor of it, so I'm going to turn it out. And there it came on out, pretty as you please, just like that. There's something else one of y'all showed me. Let me grab a knife. Let y'all look at the cornbread while I'm grabbing us a knife. Something else y'all showed me. In order to keep it crispy and where it doesn't sweat on the bottom because you turned it out, y'all showed me to put a knife under it just like that. See how that lets it, gets it off that plate. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Okay guys, I'm going to keep this warm till John gets here and get some butter on it. And I'll see y'all next time. Hey y'all, while this pan is still hot, just like this, out of the oven, I'll put it under this water. And if it's got a little spot on it, I'll scrub it real quick under hot water. And it is clean and ready to go again. And I'm just going to put it right back over here in the oven. Let me move y'all around. Y'all hang on. And I'll just stick it right back here in the oven. It's nice and hot and it'll dry it again and it is ready to go next time.